Right, great.
Welcome to Sports Econ 101, the show where we discuss sports topics from a business perspective. I'm your host, Edward Brown, along with my co-host, Vern Glenn of CBS affiliate KPIX in San Francisco, and Russell Jackman, who joins us after a 2-week hiatus. At each commercial break, we're going to...
Why was I high? Why was I? It was more high than Atis.
Okay, you kind of cut in and out there, so let's just continue on for a minute here.
Okay.
At each commercial break, we're going to ask a sports trivia question. Today's trivia theme is rookie baseball questions. All right, we'll see how well you do on that.
Rookie baseball questions. Okay.
Rookie baseball questions. Yeah, so these guys were rookies, and you'll know every one of the players. So it might be a little hard, but at least they're not unknown names.
Said the man holding the answers.
That's right, exactly. If you want to phone a friend, you can phone me, and I'll tell you the answer. How's that?
You're like Aaron Rodgers and Jeopardy.
Yes, that's right. Exactly. That's right. So in the next segment, we've got a whole bunch of stuff to talk about, all kinds of different things. You got horse racing, you got the Olympics, you got PSA grading cards. You got the Broncos, Jawan James suffering a season-ending Achilles injury. We'll talk a little bit about that. And then also we'll talk Chris Webber. Does he belong in the Hall of Fame? I don't know about his numbers, but we'll get into that in the next segment. All right. This segment of Sports Econ 101 is sponsored by Pacific Private Money, still providing mortgage investments, currently yielding about 7.5%. Secured by real estate. It doesn't get any more conservative than that. You got to check them out at pacificprivatemoney.com. Just a quick thing here. Bettors filing lawsuits against Bob Baffert after his horse Medina Spirit tests positive for regulated drug. That'll be interesting to see how that all comes out in the wash.
Yeah.
You know, and then now he's prohibited from future horse racing, at least this year.
Well, for the Belmont Stakes, at least.
Yeah. The big. Okay, wait, hold on.
The new jockey. Oh, okay.
Yeah, stay with us. Sports Econ 101. I'll be right back.
Right.
Welcome back to Sports Econ 101. I'm Edward Brown, along with Vern Glenn and Russell Jackman. Okay, so Russell, you were about to say something about the horse racing.
Yeah. They're going to get a new jockey. It's Lance Armstrong.
Funny.
Riding a Trojan horse.
Well, he'd be light enough.
Yeah.
Yes, and I think they're going to be sponsored by Johnson & Johnson syringes. That'll be their new sponsor.
I watched that 30 for 30, or not 30. I guess it wasn't a 30 for 30. It was just a whole thing on Lance Armstrong, like they did with Last Dance, and it was good. But the thing is, it's like, yeah, okay, he kind of fell from grace, and he might have gotten sued by the post office and all that. But it almost was like crime does pay, so to speak, because look how many millions he made while he was doping.
Right.
Oh yeah.
And that same thing that happens in baseball. Whether or not you want to assume Alex Rodriguez doped up, he's worth. What, a couple of $100 million? Now he was always a good ball player,
Yeah, so is Bonds and Clemens. Yeah. No one's taking away their money. They just didn't get. They won't. Their only punishment that we can do is keep them out of the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I mean, how do you go back and say, hey, by the way, all that money you made, you got to give it back to whom? The owners?
Yeah.
No, that's not going to happen.
Not going to work that way.
Nobody took away the Houston Astros title.
Yeah, that's a little bit. I wonder how much cheating of that cheating really assisted that. I know it did assist them, but was that the make or break? That they would not have won the World Series, but for that cheating of the seal.
Well, they haven't won one since. They haven't won one. So that sort of tells you a little bit about how much it works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I'm going to jump over here. Chris Webber, headed to the Hall of Fame. Now, apparently, okay, so he averaged 20 points, 9.8 rebounds, and 4.8 assists. Now, he was definitely a college Hall of Famer, for sure. I got no question about that. But does he belong in the NBA Hall of Fame?
There isn't an NBA Hall of Fame.
What?
There's a basketball Hall of Fame. but there isn't actually an NBA Hall of Fame.
Well, okay, but you're splitting hairs on me, Mr. Jackman.
No, but it means that you can get into the Hall of Fame just by your basketball career, including what you did in college or in other countries.
Russ is right. Russ is exactly right. It's for your body of work as a basketball player. That's the Naismith Hall of Fame. That's the big one. It's not just NBA Hall of Fame.
I did not know that. Thank you for the education. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, let me ask you though: is he headed to the Hall of Fame because of?
Yes.
Wait, hold on. Because of what he did in the NBA?
No. And college. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, but his
that's exactly.
Edward. He was 5-time All NBA, 5-time All Star. 4 times he was All NBA. He was Rookie of the Year in 1993.
Yeah.
And he got the Kings to the playoffs.
Yeah.
He got the Sacramento Kings to the playoffs.
He was definitely a.
He was first or second. Player. He was first or second All NBA for 4 or 5 years. So, short answer is yes.
Short answer is yes. Okay. I guess maybe I'm just looking at the 20 points, 9.8 rebounds, 4.8 assists.
And I would include his time as an announcer. I would also include his time as an announcer. Okay. He's been someone that is associated very strongly with the NBA, and why not? What's the harm in putting him in?
Oh no, and I don't dislike him. I really was rooting for him when he played for the Warriors and coming out. I mean, I was actually rooting for the Fab Five when they lost to North Carolina. From unfortunately he'll still be known. Yeah, he'll still be known, unfortunately, for that.
Yeah,
but definitely, I mean, he was just dominant in college. I guess maybe because it seemed like he sort of didn't produce as much in the NBA. Just kind of I don't know. It was just my personal opinion. Just kind of
according to this, I just popped this up. His career numbers better than current Hall of Famers Allen Iverson, Bob McAdoo, George McGinnis, Billy Cunningham, Steve Nash, David Thompson, and Alex English. So if he's got average numbers better than these guys' average numbers, and that's rebounds, assists, points combined, then just on that alone,
should you make position versus position? Because he's obviously Allen Iverson. Being a point guard is different than Chris Webber. So how do you put those two?
Sounds like in a large room where everybody votes yes, you're the one dissenting vote.
Well, I guess I don't know.
You didn't read about him or see him in the highlights on ESPN every night.
No, I did. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it was the PJ Carlesimo thing that kind of put the kibosh on it. He was a good player. Listen, I really liked him. I just didn't think he was enough to get over that hump. Except obviously his college.
It's a little different. Well, in the NFL, the rule is, in addition to the eye test, the optics, you have to be dominant at that position for a period of 5 years. So to say, hey, was he dominant? Like, was he the guy at his position for a 5-year period? No, but a lot more goes into it than that.
You know what? And that may be the difference.
Basketball.
Okay, then that may be the difference. Maybe I'm looking at more like NFL.
Yeah.
Because of saying, hey, Hall of Fame. To me, it's like you've got to be like one of the best.
Mm-hmm.
But remember hold on, guys. Remember the 2002 season that he had. They won 60. The Sacramento Kings won 60 games. Okay, he was on a level with Kevin Garnett as far as like the best power forward in the league at the time.
You're right.
And if it wasn't for the NBA and Donaghy screwing out the Kings,
that's right,
against the Lakers, the Kings would have either at least been to an NBA Finals with Chris Webber, or maybe even won a championship. I still feel that that's an illegitimate title win by the Lakers. We were talking about cheating, by the way.
Was that Big Shot Bob Horry?
Yeah, that was Horry. That was also Mike Bibby's nose causing a foul on Kobe Bryant's elbow. If you remember that. Also, there's a video. If you look at YouTube, there are some video tributes that show how much the refereeing in that game was slanted towards the Lakers, and we know with history now, being hindsight. That Donahue was betting on that game. He hasn't really said exactly what calls he threw, but it's pretty obvious when you look back at the video of it what exactly happened there. So I think Weber would have at least gone to an NBA championship, if not flat out won one, without the deal.
Agreed.
By.
I agree with you. I agree on that. Okay, guys. Hey, we're going to go to the first commercial break trivia question. Here we go. We're talking rookie baseball questions. I was born in Los Angeles in 1956 and made my Major League Baseball debut in 1977 with an AL team on the East Coast. I eventually played for 4 teams in both leagues over a 21-year career. I'm a member of the 500 Home Run Club. I hit better than 300 seven times, 100 RBIs or better 6 times, and was an all-star 8 times. I retired in 1997. Who am I? Okay, born in 1956.
Yep.
MLB debut in 1977. A member of the 500 Home Run Club. Hit 300 7 times. Hit 300 or better 7 times. 100 RBIs or better 6 times. 8-time All-Star. Retired in 1997. All right? Stay with us. You're listening to Sports Econ 101. We're going to be right back. Welcome back to Sports Econ 101. One more time, I'm Edward Brown, your host, along with Vern Glenn and Russell Jackman. First trivia question. I was born in Los Angeles in 1956, made my Major League debut in 1977 with an AL team on the East Coast. I eventually played for 4 teams in both leagues over a 21-year career. I'm a member of the 500 Home Run Club, hit 300 or better 7 times, hit 100 RBIs or better 6 times, an all-star 8 times. I retired in 1997. Who am I?
I was going to say Kirk Gibson.
No, he hasn't hit 500 home runs, I don't think.
You're probably right.
I'm gonna go Palmeiro.
No, Eddie Murray.
Eddie Murray. I have an Eddie Murray story.
Go ahead.
Please.
I had just started working in Baltimore, so I'm covering the Orioles, and I'm trying to get around and get to know the fellows, whatever. Anyway, I show up in the clubhouse because there's media availability. Now, again, I don't really know like who talks, who doesn't, whatever. I'm just this young, spry, Cub reporter, just kind of ready to get after it. And then so we're sitting around, and a couple of beat writers go, "Hey man, there's Eddie Murray. Hey, go get him." So I go up to him. I get within 6 feet of him, and I go, "Hey Eddie, hey, I'm out." And he goes, "No, thank you very much." I go, "Well, I just wanted to no, thank you very much."
Oh man!
And I look back at the beat writers; they're laughing. Long story short, he never talked to the media.
Oh,
I didn't know. And so the guys thought it'd be funny if they, "Oh, there's your chance. Go get him." I'm like, I didn't know.
Poor guy.
Yeah, no, thank you very much. No, thank you very much.
So
that's all I got.
Wow. And then that and he still never talked to the media.
Never talked to the media. Nope.
Don't they have like I remember?
Steve Carlton didn't either.
Wait, what's that?
But once we found out what Steve Carlton thought, we were all glad that he didn't talk to him.
It's funny. I was thinking about like Marshawn Lynch. He doesn't like to talk, so he just
No.
Yes.
But the thing is, like, they get fined if they don't talk to the media.
Right. So that's why they just say thank you.
Yeah,
thank you.
but is that in the same way in baseball?
I
have no idea what the rules are.
I think once postseason hits, if you blow it off, then yeah, you're a little lighter in the wallet.
Okay.
But during the regular season, everybody kind of has their own thing. Some guys will talk pregame. Some will only talk postgame.
Yeah.
And there's no rule that postgame you have to make yourself available. So if a guy really doesn't want to talk, then they just go to the training room.
Yeah.
And they just wait us out.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
You should go into the training room. Go, hey, stop your training. I'm here.
But the training room is off limits to us.
Yeah.
But you put on your baseball uniform, pretend you're a second baseman. Just kind of sneak right in there.
Hey, bat boy.
I think if
I'm the bat boy.
I'm the bat boy. Yeah. Yeah. I think if I were a player, I wouldn't want to talk pregame because I'd want to get my head like straight, get in the zone. I get that. I get that. So the Broncos, Jawan James suffered a season-ending Achilles injury working out away from the team facility. Looks like he won't get his $10 million salary, per year for 5 years. Plus, he missed the 2020 season due to opting out of playing due to COVID. I mean, this poor guy. I mean, he really took it in the shorts. And it sounded like there was some issue about him working out away from the team's facility versus opting to go in with the team facility. If he would have gotten injured in the team facility, things might have been a little different.
Yeah, because you're on their property, doing whatever mandated workout, they give you. I mean, if it happens there, then it's on them.
Yeah.
Don't be shocked if there's a lawsuit. Don't be shocked if there's a lawsuit.
I was going to say, it's still, because he's saying, hey, listen, I'm trying to protect my health. That's why I didn't go because of potential COVID. And, it says it working out away from the team facility. So it's not like he did a Bumgarner, on dirt bikes,
Right.
And so, I mean, it doesn't say exactly how he did his Achilles injury.
Because because let's put it this way: if he sat at home and ate nothing but ding dongs and watched TV, he'd weigh 400 pounds by the time that and then he would have been no good to the team. The team doesn't want him to sit at home and get totally out of shape. Plus, that even increases his chance that he's going to get injured.
Plus, he missed the 2020 season because of opting out. He didn't have to opt out, but he did. So he gave up his salary there. Except I think they gave him you get $100,000 or something, which that's good money. But for a guy making $10 million, not so much. It's one of those weird things. It kind of reminds me of these guys coming, college, and they go, shoot, do I play my last year in college, potentially get hurt? Or do I go to the pros now? What's the pros and cons to that?
I wonder how much the agent comes into play, and I'm thinking of Steve Baker weighing in on this because there's no player that I know of that makes a career decision without consulting with his age or her agent first.
Yeah.
Like that's part of the agent's job. If you do this, then this is the consequence.
Sure. Now, if he didn't get hurt, probably wouldn't have been a big deal. He just kind of comes back, etc. But that now it said season-ending Achilles injury. I mean, how many guys?
Achilles. You tear your Achilles, it's a year.
At least,
it's a year minimum. That's it.
Yeah.
And then after that, then there's the rehab to build the strength back up in the leg. By then, your leg is about this size because atrophy is set.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. You really feel for a guy like that. Moving on. Will Japan cancel the Olympics? They're talking about that.
You know what? Boy, I mean, cases are spiking over there, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think at this point, what is this, late May? I think they're going to go full steam ahead unless it just gets so bad they have to cancel it.
Or they could do it without an audience. There's no reason that they have to do it with an audience.
Well, no crowds, no family is allowed to go over there.
I mean, is that what they're planning on anyway?
Yeah, that's what they're planning on anyway. Yeah. It's not like, hey, let's buy tickets, let's go see our son.
Yeah.
You'll be enjoying him or her on TV because you won't be in there.
This may be a very controversial take, but I haven't missed the Olympics that much. I mean, we were supposed to have Winter Olympics last year, weren't we? And we didn't have them. And, I was okay. I didn't, fall into the ocean. And there's some Olympic events I really enjoy, but a lot of it is so much overkill that to not have them, I could wait another couple of years, especially if safety is an issue. I don't mind waiting. I feel bad for the kids that, may miss their window of opportunity, because I know how hard it is to be finally. I had clients of mine a while ago, and their kids were doing their 3 girls were doing the rhythmic gymnastics training for the Olympics. And then another friend of mine, she just barely missed her daughter just barely missed making the Olympics, and she's now in the Olympics, the gymnastics program over in Iowa, Iowa University. So it's a very tough line that you get to whether you make the Olympics or not, and it could mean that these kids that have been training their whole lives miss that window.
Well, and then you have to go another 4 years, forgetting COVID stuff. But I thought you were going to say you missed, you haven't missed the Olympics since the 56 ones in 1956 in Melbourne. But that was a little before
I think so, a little before my time.
Hey, you know what? Okay, I'm gonna see if I can how my memory is. 1956 Melbourne, 1960 Rome, 64 Osaka, Japan, 68 Mexico City, 72 Munich, 76 Montreal, 1980 you had in Russia, right? Was it?
Yep.
Yeah.
It was the boycotted one.
Yeah, 84 you had here in LA.
Los Angeles.
Yeah.
LA.
88 was Seoul. 92 was
Barcelona.
Yeah, 96 was Atlanta. Yeah, 2000 was
Athens.
Athens. Yeah, Athens.
No, 2000 was Sydney. I was there.
Sydney. Yeah, it was Sydney. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, 2004 was Athens.
Yes.
Was it okay? 2008 was what was 2008?
Was it London? Or was it London?
Or no, was it one of the?
Yeah. Well. Okay, we'll end with that. We'll end with that one. Okay, here we go. Second trivia question. I was born in Mobile, Alabama in 1954 and debuted. You thought I was going to say Willie Mays, huh? Okay. Was he born in Mobile, Alabama?
He was.
He was, okay. I was born in Mobile, Alabama in 1954 and debuted in the major leagues in 1978 with an NL team on the West Coast. I later played for one other NL team before retiring in 1996. I hit 262 lifetime and had 2,460 hits, but it was really my glove that got me 15 All-Star appearances and a trip to Cooperstown. Who am I? All right. So born in 1954 in Alabama, debuted in 1978. Played on a West Coast team. Then he played for another NL team before retiring in 1996. He's actually more well known not for his West Coast team, but he's well known for his other NL team. 262 lifetime, just under 2,500 hits, but he was really known for his glove. All right, stay with us. Sports Econ 101. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Sports Econ 101. Edward Brown here, along with Vern Glenn and Russell Jackman. Second trivia question. I was born in Mobile, Alabama in 1954 and debuted in the major leagues in 1978 with a National League team on the West Coast. I later played for one other National League team before retiring in 1996. I hit 262 lifetime and had 2,460 hits, but I was really known for my glove for 15 All-Star appearances and a sure trip to Cooperstown. All right. So here's your hint. I believe he started with the Padres, but he was really well known for being on the Cardinals.
Cardinals. Okay. Ozzie Smith?
Ozzie Smith.
Oh, my gosh.
Ozzie Smith.
Ozzie Smith.
Wow.
Very good. Didn't he start with the Padres?
I had no idea until you said that.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure he started
that threw me off. That threw me off until you said Cardinals.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay, then,
I also did not know he was born in Mobile, Alabama.
That I didn't know.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, did not know. I mean, some of these guys, knowing where they're born really may not make a difference,
No,
that's just part of the question. Okay, the last thing I have on here is, you know, PSA, the grading card company?
Yes,
PSA?
yes.
So apparently they're shutting down right now amid too much demand. They are 1 million cards behind in grading as demand for memorabilia increases.
I wonder why the delay. I'm wondering.
You know, there's been, I guess, a resurgence in trading cards, you know, and especially
not only a resurgence, but have you heard that Target is no longer selling trading cards because people have been getting into fist fights over them in the parking lot?
Wow.
I'm not
I'm sorry for
you.
laughing, but really, I know I hadn't heard that.
Yeah.
So, hey, that's my Andy Van Slyke card.
Yeah, Andy Van Slyke. I love Andy Van Slyke. Wait a minute, though.
People are going collectible crazy because of COVID. They're stuck at home and they've gone insane. People want to hoard things. You look at the gasoline situation down, and you know, toilet paper was first, then flour for a little while, then, you know, when everyone was baking. And now that everybody is done baking, they want to, you know, hoard their comic books and baseball cards and football cards and basketball cards and Pokemon cards, you name it, Magic the Gathering. It's all, whatever's collectible right now that's physical, people are going insane over. I don't really understand this kind of mania, although it's helping people like you and me, Vern, with our comic book collections. Those things are going through the roof if we wanted to sell them right now, which I'm not going to. I will be. I'm giving all my comics to my kids. That's part of one of the few legacies that I've managed to do that actually has turned out to be worth something versus my stock portfolio.
Yeah, I only have one son that would be conscientious enough to really kind of take care of him after I'm 6 feet under. So,
well, look at the look what's going on in real estate. Lumber prices have tripled. You know, during COVID, a lot of people at home going, okay, well, let's work on the house.
Yeah.
And there's been just a huge shortage, and then contractors busy and all that. So yeah, this COVID thing's had kind of a weird response. And Bitcoin, people collecting Bitcoin. Look at that.
You tell me about it. You're the money guy. Yeah, you tell me about it. And it's not just Bitcoin, but all these other crazy digital currencies like Dogecoin. Have you heard about that one?
Dogecoin.
Yeah.
You know what? I think we're gonna start a Sports Econ 101 cryptocurrency. What do you think?
Sure, why not? If it's worth, I mean, first of all, Vern is worth a lot more than the Doge, I think.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah. There's apparently a crazy dog coin. There's like a dog that's on the face of a coin that's worth now like $1 billion.
Dogecoin, that's one that Elon Musk, I mean, it dropped like a rock after he said, yeah, this is actually kind of a joke or a nominal. He didn't say it was a fraud, but he said like, basically, yeah, this is like worthless or something. But
I mean, Bitcoin is kind of a fraud, isn't it? I mean, it is just people saying this thing is worth a lot of money because we say it's worth a lot of money.
The smart thing they did was they put a limit as to how much is out there. You know, again, whatever that means, right?
You could do that to anything.
You could do that to
anything. You could do that.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be bottle caps. It could be pet rocks. You know, I mean, there's a certain limited amount of everything in this world, right? Nothing's infinite. So, and technically, it is infinite because you're selling prime numbers. So prime numbers can go on forever, even though it has a crazy, I
don't know how that
prime numbers that are.
Yeah, I don't really know how it works about like mining these things, and
that's what I'm talking about.
I know, but I don't understand how I don't understand how it works. I remember hearing, when Bitcoin was at like 3,000 or something, that they were saying it costs more in electricity to gather.
Wow.
Yeah, because the computers have to do all this kind of fancy thing, and it just was costing a fortune. Now it's 60,000, or well, actually it's down to like 49,000 or something. It's probably worth it, electricity wise, which is so funny because they talk about all these electrical cars. and oh, let's go green, go electric, right? But what happens at nighttime is if everyone had an electric car, for the most part, they're going to be recharging it at night.
Yes.
That's going to destroy the power grid. And then where do they get the power to power the electric cars? It's from electricity,
So you say that there's no such thing as wind power. So wind would not be able to help when the sun is not shining.
No, I don't think that they're saying that. Wind power has its merits, but there's other things. I mean, apparently it kills the birds, and you have to have consistent wind.
Oh yeah, but a nuclear spill doesn't kill anything. When you have a tanker.
It does. It does. But apparently, and I only know so much about this, but apparently nuclear energy is the cleanest form of energy. I mean, it's better.
All right. Will you move next door to a nuclear facility? You want to move next door to one? Talk
with my mouth open.
Chernobyl. Talk to the people of the Fukushima plant, and the fact that you still have three-eyed fish, growing up around in Japan.
You remember 3 Mile Island? Right?
Yes.
1979 in Pennsylvania.
And Rancho Seco. It's not something that, you can just say, well, it's clean and it's fine.
No, I think
you want to move next to a nuclear plant.
No. I think that the theory is, out of all the energy sources, they're saying it's the cleanest. So like airplanes, you say that's it's the safest way to travel if you look at the percentages, until there's a crash.
Yeah.
Until there's a disaster, then it's the worst thing you can possibly have.
Yeah,
that's the worst form of energy you can have. No, electricity. We need to spend more time and more effort on researching solar power and making it smaller and more effective. And batteries, that's the other key to making solar work. Is batteries.
Because those batteries, if you look at the pollution or the, landfill and all that, I mean, those batteries are not good for the environment. So they've got to, you're right, they at least should do some research to figure out how to use, I mean, the sun is free so far until the government taxes it, right? Right? What did the Beatles say about air? They're going to tax the air you breathe. Well, don't worry, the government will figure out a way to tax the sun. But until they do, it's, I mean, I've got solar on my house. I actually have two different systems. I've got one that I own, and I've got one that I lease. And the reason, the one I own is because they didn't have leasing at the time. But the next time I said, hey, I could put some more panels on, it was kind of a no-lose situation, because as long as the amount that I pay for the solar panels is less than what I would, that plus the PG&E is less than what I pay in PG&E directly, it made sense. Plus they guarantee a certain amount of power, and they guarantee that my PG&E per watt won't go up more than 2% a year. So I'm not doing a pitch for a solar company, but just in general.
I wish I could have a situation like that in my house.
Do you have too many trees?
No, I rent, so I can't.
Oh,
yeah. Without really
tell my landlord to switch to solar. Otherwise, I would.
Yeah. So Edward, you got panels on your house. So the sun hits the panels, and then solar is what? Stored in some vacuum somewhere? Is that?
There's a transformer type, an inverter they call it, and it's stored there. And then during days like today, when it's nice and, when the sun is at a certain angle, because it's not just on a sunny day, cloudy days are not good. But if the sun is in a certain direction, basically, then we use less electricity. It actually can move the meter backward.
So the system you have arbitrarily knows when to use the solar and when to use the regular electricity?
No, I think I always use the electricity, but it's generating a certain amount of power that feeds back into the system. So it's like, I'm always spending money on PG&E, but I get credit for all this energy I'm producing. So my bill goes down. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I thought there might have been like some switch. You go and just, okay, we're going to use solar today.
Oh yeah, no,
but bam, then the house is on solar.
No, but after
what happens? What happens if you lose power? Something hits and the neighborhood loses power.
Okay, so no. So that in that case, the solar doesn't work. However, with that though, because we had the fires and all that kind of crap that was going on, and we lost power a couple of years ago, I ended up buying a generator. And so the generator, and this one's awesome because we did have a couple of power outages, and within 3 or 4 seconds, the generator comes on. And it's just like, and the worst thing that happens is I have to reset my clocks. But other than that, it's like, yeah. And the thing is, these guys were trying to sell us a system for like $30,000. And I go, yeah, no. Then my electrician said, well, why don't we just get one that costs about $5,000? And then instead of figuring out, okay, it'll work this outlet and this one and this one, just feed it from the main so that it feeds the whole house. But just be careful, don't have, all the washer dryers going, and the stove and the oven and blah, blah, blah. And the
hair dryer and the
exactly. Yeah. Just, control it a little bit, but it does all the lights and computers and everything. And, it's only temporary anyway. Right. Okay. Hey guys, going on. Yeah. Going on to our last commercial trivia question. I was born in 1960 in Los Angeles. I made my major league debut with a National League team on the West Coast and stayed with them for my entire 20-year career. I batted .309 or over for 19 straight years after hitting .289 in my rookie season, finishing with a .338 lifetime average, 8 batting titles, and 15 All-Star appearances. Do you know me?
I know this one. Yes, I think I do.
What year was the major league debut?
It doesn't say, but I got to think probably 1981 or 82.
Yep, then I think I know who it is.
Okay. So
guy known for a smile. Guy known for a smile.
Okay, born in 1960, Los Angeles. ML debut with the National League team on the West Coast. Stayed there 20 years. I batted .309 for 19 straight years, except hitting .289 in my rookie season. Finished with a .338 lifetime average, 8 batting titles, and 15 All-Star appearances. Do you know me? Stay with us.
I think I know who that is.
Okay, Sports Econ 101 will be right back with some closing comments. Welcome back to Sports Econ 101. Last time for today, I'm Edward Brown, your host, along with Vern Glenn and Russell Jackman. I was born in 1960 in Los Angeles, made my major league debut in on a National League team on the West Coast and stayed with them for my entire 20-year career. Batted .309 over 19 straight years after hitting .289 my rookie season. Finished with a .338 lifetime average, 8 batting titles, and 15 All-Star appearances. Who am I? Mr. Jackman. Tony Gwynn, that is correct.
Tony Gwynn.
So it's so funny when you said known for a smile. I was thinking maybe you would say Kirby Puckett, but he was with the Twins, so that's not a national team.
Right.
But, in fact, I think.
Yeah, no, but Tony Gwynn was always known for his attitude, his smile.
Yeah.
I lived in San Diego during the time that he was playing.
Oh, yeah.
I went to college, UCSD. Yeah, I went to UCSD, and I was there from 85 to 90. And so he was in his prime then, and I don't think there's a more beloved sports personality.
Oh, yeah. It's funny because I thought you were going to say Kirby Puckett because he was also born in 1960, but that wouldn't have worked. Okay,
the American League team though.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay, and he also didn't hit .338. He was a very good hitter, but not.
No, the .338 was the dead giveaway.
Yeah,
the .338 is a number you remember.
Exactly. You don't hear that too often. Okay, you guys ready? No. Here's our thoughts for the day. What did the man say to the wall? One more crack like that, and I'll plaster you. Not a good one?
Going there. Yeah, I wasn't going there.
And, I don't understand why my credit is so bad. I get letters from all my creditors each month telling me my balance is outstanding.
Oh.
They're good. Okay. We got we're 2 for 2 for smiles from Mr.
Good.
Yeah, I figured you'd like that first one. All right.
It was great.
Audience. Yeah. Tune in next week to Sports Econ 101. We'll be discussing sports topics from a business perspective and asking more sports trivia questions. Thanks for listening. On behalf of our team, I'm your host, Edward Brown. We'll see you next week.
Good night, America.
Adios.
So long.